presents Push Little Daisies from Stafford Woods in Voorhees, New Jersey. This tournament and coverage is sponsored by Birdie Disc Golf Supply. We're also doing a disc giveaway. We'll give you more details for that at the end of the video. Thank you to our Patreon family as well for helping support this coverage. We are taking a look at the back nine of the first round. Like I said, we've got some good golf going on. Brandon and Jay are battling it out, tied for first place at the moment. And we're going to get started with the shortest hole on the course. Is the short tee pad hole 10, par 3, 215 feet. Pretty much a straight shot, putter shot, whatever you got to get it all the way up there. Straightforward. You can't go left to right. You gotta miss the trees. And Nate again getting us started. Fades out a little bit at the end, but he's in the circle. Should be able to give it a bid. Jay fading out just a little bit. The other side catches a tree. Still maybe circles edge just outside. We'll see if he can make it in for his birdie. Bill going much straighter. That's what you're looking for. Little short, maybe expecting a little bit more ground play, but that's as straight as an arrow as you can get. Brandon going a bit higher, but that stays just straight enough that he'll have a pretty easy tap in for his birdie. So Jay furthest out, but still easily within range. Catches some cabbage up high. That looked good for the first 50% of the flight. Oh, and a dirty roll away for Bill. Probably has a further putt now than his first one. Oh, and again. It happens that quickly. A 215-foot hole. He was no more than 20 feet away after his first shot. And an unfortunate another example from Nate of just how quickly a very short hole can give you a birdie. Brandon, excuse me, giving you a bogey. Brandon with the actual birdie, waving to the crowd that wasn't quite existing yet. And Jay tapping in his par. So from the shortest hole to the longest hole on the course, the only par 5, hole 11 from the long tee, 775 feet through the woods all the way. First shots are trying to go straight and finish left, hitting the ground, maybe skipping up to around this point, maybe a little bit further. Second shots landing anywhere around this divot or these humps here is a pretty good second shot depending on where you are. Should give you a good approach depending on the line that you have to approach the basket for your third shot. And if all goes according to plan, you should have an easy tap in birdie. But the plan typically does not happen because that's a lot of very tight wooded shots to accomplish. And it's just not an easy thing to do. Brandon going with a very stable disc. Was fading to the right, comes back, is in a pretty good spot. And Jay's drive looking beautiful, straight down the middle. Skips just left side. As long as he's not too close to that tree, he should have a decent unobstructed second shot. Nate taking it a little bit wider, more hyzer. Comes in a little bit early. Depending on where he is, he might have a pitch out or something that he can look at for a second shot. Bill's fading right, needs to start coming back. Hits through everything and comes back out onto the fairway. So a little bit of luck there. And we see Nate here Has decent forehand look. Looks like he turned it over, maybe caught something. He's still going to be in the rough on the left side, but he's making progress up this fairway. Brandon, oh, catching a late tree. Still going to be in a pretty good position because of how much distance he got. Like I said in the preview, anywhere up near the little creek bed or hump is pretty good. Oh, and Bill looking for the backhand turnover. It straightens out, catches a tree, and he went pretty deep into that left side. And Jay well across that creek bed on his second throw. He's going to be left side, but the distance he'll, I'm sure, have something to pitch out up towards the basket with. And Nate's throw was going towards that tree the entire time and just never came off of it. So Bill going with a tomahawk. And yeah, from where he was, that'll work. He's behind that tree, maybe circle two's edge, but he'll have something from there. Nice forehand flip up by Nate. Skips a little bit wide, but he'll have a circle one putt. And this is Brandon's third shot, so pretty much right where you want to be. Nice stable flex forehand. Gets a pretty favorable non-skip. Kind of catches the base of that tree, slows it way down. And he'll have a pretty easy look for his birdie. And Jay as well, being so far up, even left side. Just a nice little, again, a flex forehand, much shorter than Brandon's, and he's in a very similar position. Oh, and Bill trying to manufacture something and catches the tree. He at least now has an opening. Whether he gives it a bit or just lays it up. Ooh, that was a bit alright. Just low. So Nate on the green. Maybe 20, 22 footer. And low as well. So here's Brandon for birdie. And he cashes it. Other than the one tree on his second throw, he played that whole textbook. And barely staying in there left side. Bill wasn't on the fairway very much, but still made it all the way down with just a single bogey. This hole can certainly run up the scores on some people. And another birdie by Jay. Had a very far second shot, having to pitch out. Not as traditional like Brandon's birdie, but same score nonetheless. So, card playing even. 2 birdies, 2 bogeys. This hole was the 4th hardest hole, so not surprising that they came in. Hole 12, par 3, 243 feet. Uphill, basket left side on top of a few retaining walls. You need to skip over or throw over the retaining walls to get onto the green. From below them, it's going to be a long putt. Brandon trying to take the high wide route, takes it just a bit too wide, and he's going to be very short left. Not where you want to be. This is definitely more of what you're looking to do, whether it be that height or higher, but get it through that last couple trees and skip up towards the green. And Nate's showing us the higher line. A little bit short, but clean, so we'll see exactly where he wound up. And Bill going kind of in between those two heights, goes a bit long, catches that tree, but he's also on the green. So this is what Brandon is left with. manufactures something, gets all the way up to the green clean, and he'll have a 18-footer to save his par. And low again. You can see the leaves blowing. I'm sure it played a factor into that. Even in these woods, there's still not much foliage on the trees, so the wind is able to penetrate into the woods on this course. And great par save by Brandon. He basically was playing the hole almost full distance, but from the left side in the rough after one stroke, and still manages the par, so pretty good. And Jay for birdie. And nails it. So we are tied again at the top between Jay and Brandon. Two birdies, two pars. Moving on to hole 13. We went up the hill on the last hole, now we're going back down this same hill. Par 3, 204 feet. Basically, this gap between these two trees is the main one these players are going to try to hit. Either a backhand turnover real low, trying to skip up to the basket, or a forehand straight with a slight fade, maybe a little bit of a flex. For such a short hole, the downhill definitely makes it difficult. Throwing the turnover, barely missing that tree and sliding right up to 8 feet. Great shot by Jay. Is the forehand, needs to miss just left side of that tree. If that was an inch more to the left, I think that would have been great. Would have wound up just a bit right side of the green. And I think this is more what you're looking for. Oh, but catches those last couple saplings on the right side. Maybe just a bit too stable for Nate. A little bit higher, similar result. So this is where Brandon is going to be setting up maybe a long bid for birdie. Oh, and he certainly gave it the height, just right side. And went a little bit long, but he'll have a circled putt to save his par. Similar distance to what Nate's going to have after that missed putt. That's Bill behind the tree. And again. So Brandon to save par. Oh. And frustrated at that low putt. He's tied for the lead. Obviously, every stroke is going to matter. So definitely didn't want to drop that one, especially knowing that Jay is pretty much parked for his birdie. So that'll be a 2-stroke swing between Jay and Brandon. So we'll go back up to the hill on hole 14, par 3, 287 feet. Off the tee, the fairway bends to the left. The short pin position continues going to the left, but we're playing to the longer pin position, so it's a flex back to the right. A flex forehand shapes very well. There's also the potential for a backhand flip up to get there. And we'll see that flex shot from Jay to start. Didn't quite flex enough. You have to get it pretty far over before it starts flexing back. But then you're risking turning it all the way over and it not flexing back at all. So definitely a tricky little shot for such a under 300-foot hole for these guys. Nate kicking right side. It's kinda open over there depending on where you land. Maybe not to get all the way up to the green, but shouldn't be too difficult to get up there. And Bill throwing a beautiful backhand flip up to get to within the circle easily. And I think that's the picturesque shot of this hole that Brandon just threw. forehand flexing all the way out, all the way back, just winding up on the right side of the green. And Nate doing a good job getting all the way up to the green on his second shot. He should be able to save his par from there. Just right side. And that's what happens if it doesn't flex enough. Jay fortunate to get up there clean, but leaving a long putt for his birdie. And not able to cash it. Brandon getting that bogey right back to a birdie, so even to the last two. Bill also able to cash in his birdie. So 2 birdies, 2 pars again. And we get back out into the open for hole 15, playing from the long tee pad. Second longest hole of the course, par 4, 731 feet. Pretty much got to hit the gap, go way out into the field as far as you can to set up your approach shot. Kind of blind. It's tough to see the basket and the green until you get most of the way to that wood line. So these players are kind of just aiming towards where they think the basket is. There's a short entrance into the woods where we saw the drone fly, but there's also a few wider gaps to the right of the wood line that these players can try to throw big hyzers in the second shot to approach the green. And then, of course, it's sloping downhill, so speed control is also in effect. So, a bit too wide for both Bill and Brandon on their tee shots. This is more what you're looking for. A nice flip up to flat, get it out in the open, give yourself a chance for your next shot. Great shot by Jay. Brandon kicked very far left, and you can see from here that it does not look pretty from there. Bill got out of the gap clean, hit some of the last tree branches out in the field, and fell down inbounds. So, and Nate getting out, but just didn't get it to flip up quite enough like Jay did, and he'll be left side. Brandon actually does have a bit of a look. Gets out clean, but this is fading way, way back into the woods on the left. I'm not sure what it's going to look like over there, but I'm guessing it's not going to be favorable. So Bill out clean, but it's going to have a longer approach and doesn't quite get enough hyzer on it. He's still out in the field, probably almost pin high. But he'll now probably not have any kind of look for a birdie. He needs to just get up and down for his par. And yeah, that'll work. Nate crashing down onto the green, low side of the basket. Maybe have a little bit of obstructed putt from the tree in front of him. Oh, and Jay's shot almost skipping and going all the way down onto the green, catching that last tree. He's right at the crest of the hill, so he should have it pretty easy. So Brandon could barely even find a line, and he's surprised even of his own abilities, finding a way to get through all of that nothingness. And he's on the green to save his par after not being anywhere near the fairway on the entire hole. So he may have found a new way to play this hole. Oh, good run by Bill, falling just off of the platform that basket's on. And this is Brandon to save his par after, like I said, not being anywhere near the fairway the entire hole. Oh, just low left. Honestly, he cannot be upset with a bogey after his first 2 shots. And now seeing that Jay is also not going to be gaining any strokes on him, I'd honestly be happy if I were Brandon after seeing these results. So Bill with a longer comebacker than it even seemed after that spit out on the right side. So he'll need to get this for his bogey. And off the rim and back out of it. And almost right side again. Unfortunate double for Bill. So, not a bad par and bogey for Jay. So, scores pretty much stay relative to each other, at least at the top. A few holes left in this round. We move on to hole 16, par 4, 437 feet, excuse me. OB both sides of the fairway and long around the basket. It does get wider around the basket, so you have the ability to do it. It's certainly reachable. We're playing from the short pad, but you can see the wind doing weird things with the discs here. Definitely possible to get there. The guys at the top have the arm, but it's more of a decision if they want to go for the green on this par 4, knowing how much out of bounds is all around. Brandon keeping it nice and low, straight skip, pretty good distance, not quite enough to have a bid for the eagle, but he's up there. He could give it a long bid if he wanted, but probably just be going for the birdie. And needs to... Oh my God. That skipped so far right to left. He was almost on the right side out of bounds. And I think he wound up near, if not maybe out of bounds on the left side. So Jay and Bill had almost identical shots, but Jay's disc skipped 70, 80 feet left. The wind doing strange things. So Nate barely staying in bounds, and we see there was inches from being in bounds was Jay's disc. So even with the penalty stroke being a par 4, he is parked for his par, so. And Brandon leaving a little bit of meat on the bone there. Having such a short approach, decides to lay up, and he'll still have a little bit of work to do for his birdie. And Nate just low for his birdie. Oh, it's staying in. Good putt by Brandon. See how elevated that is. Brandon's a tall guy, but still head height and having to reach above his shoulders to get that disc out. So Nate with a par, and Jay tapping in his par. Will have a tie for the lead again. Picturesque hanging basket on 16. This is one of the signature holes of this course. Beautiful shot. And we move back into the woods. Hole 17, par 4, 648 feet from the long tee. Elevated tee pad to most of the rest of the fairway. You need to hit the main gap to start, and then you kind of split into two fairways. This tight one the drone's going by, or there's actually a wider fairway to the left that you can try. Landing anywhere around here, a little bit shorter, will give you a good approach to the second, your second shot. If a very clean, very powerful shot does get all the way through, it can approach the basket to give you, maybe you look at your eagle even from the long tee because you're throwing from an elevated position, but most players will probably try to break this into 2 throws. Being in the woods, it's difficult to get that distance cleanly, as we see Nate throwing a beautiful shot. That was probably 350, almost 400 feet. Should have a little bit of right side, but shortish approach for his second shot. Oh, and Jay catching a tree right side, kicking pretty far right. Brandon hit an early tree, so he's still up top of this first elevated section of the fairway. Oh, and catching another tree. So now he's right side, near where Jay's shot ended up. We'll see what these two can manufacture from here. Gets out mostly clean. And just right side. I think that is somewhere up by the green. Maybe 100, 120 feet short. Oh, and Jay with a great flare skip, getting from the left side back to the right side fairway. And that silver basket is not the one they're aiming for. It's the blue basket longer. Bill catching a tree, going right side. And finally to Nate's shot. Oh, clipping a tree. That was coming back towards the basket. That was going to be a very nice shot to get to the basket after 2 shots. Not obviously an easy hole, and Nate almost made it look very easy. Bill left with nothing but an overhand, which almost got all the way to the green. Kind of caught that last tree. Oh, and again, just that last tree preventing from Brandon's disc getting all the way up to the basket. Very well guarded green, especially from the right side. I'm giving it a little bit too much hyzer, but he's right next to the basket. And this is Nate for his birdie. Good bid. Sat and stayed there, so be able to tap in his par. And this is Brandon for his par. Excuse me, that was Brandon for his bogey, and makes the putt to save his bogey. So, not the greatest hole played, but limits the damage to just 1 stroke. Jay getting his par, keeping it within 1 stroke and 1 to go for this first round. So par playing is the best result in this hole for this card. Pretty difficult, but we'll move on to hole 18, par 3, 268 feet from the short tee. Pretty much got to hit this gap that the drone just flew through. You can go a little bit wider or a little bit tighter to hit some tighter gaps, but that's the main one you're looking for. Definitely accessible, forehand, backhand turnover, but plenty of things to get in your way. And just a little bit too tight from Nate. Will be up near the pin, but obviously in those laurels on the right side. Jay with the right shot shape, the backhand turnover, maybe a little bit more air, would have been able to get all the way to the green. And this is looking more like it. Nice and wide. And still comes in a little bit tight. Just maybe a little bit too stable of a disc that Brandon threw. And this is more of the backhand turnover height you're looking for. But Bill's disc maybe a bit too stable. He wanted to keep pushing right. So Nate looks like he's thrown from the jungle here. Ooh, catches a little bit of leaves. That was looking like it could have been a decent run. And now Jay having to give a bid through 2 trees and a bush. Almost nails it. Lands right in the rock pile of the basket. So, Brandon to tie. And off the koozie underneath. So those 2 guys are parked for par. 1 stroke apart. Brandon had a chance to tie it there. Bill off of the rim. So these guys tapping in their pars. So like I mentioned, we are doing a giveaway in collaboration with Birdie Disc Supply. All you have to do to be eligible is to subscribe to HyzerMedia's channel and comment "done" down below.
Dude.
And there you have it, the first round in the books of Birdie Presents the Push Little Daisies from Stafford Woods. Thank you all for watching. Let's take a look at our leaderboard. Jay and Brandon 1 stroke apart, and we have 2 new players swapping out for tomorrow's coverage. Rabbi Orlana and Daxel Alvarez shooting not bad rounds, so we will see them over there. Again, be sure to subscribe to HyzerMedia, comment down below "done" to be eligible for the Birdie Disc giveaway. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next hole.